So tonight is a lesson on crowd control. And thank you so much for your patience. We really, really appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Mack, and I am President and CEO of the Gibbes Museum of Art. Thank you for joining us this evening for our 13th annual Distinguished Lecture Series program. With the generous support of former Gibbes board member Esther Ferguson, our mission for this series is to bring outstanding world-renowned artists, art collectors, architects, museum leaders, philanthropists, and art historians to Charleston each year to stimulate public discussion about creativity and the visual arts. Before introducing our incredible speaker, I want to take a moment to thank those of you who have made this evening possible. Our deepest appreciation goes to the co-chairs of our Distinguished Lecture Committee, Wendy Dopp and Catherine Smith, who have worked tirelessly, yes, to make this evening possible and a success, as well as the many members of the committee, including David Adams, Tej Danza, Shane Hall, Lou Hammond, Denise Mansheim, and Ann Siegfried. We're also deeply grateful to our generous corporate and foundation sponsors, including the Samuel Freeman Charitable Trust, the Kennard Kennedy Family Fund, the Post and Courier, the Joseph J. Schott Foundation, the Dewberry Hotel, the Francis Marion Hotel, Marsh McLennan Agency, the Terrace Theater, Graystar Corporation, Lynch Capital Wealth Management of Raymond James, Morris Financial Concepts, the Wilbur S. Smith and Sally J. Smith Foundation, K&L Gates, the Fine Art Group, as well as the many generous individual sponsors who are listed in your program. In addition, this year we are very proud, through the support of our generous education sponsors, to welcome over 130 students tonight and groups, including members of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority College of Charleston chapter, the College of Charleston Honors College, the 1967 Legacy Honors Program, members of the Film Club, the Avery Institute, and the Arts and Administration Department. Also, we welcome students tonight from the Citadel, Claflin University, South Carolina State University, the Penn Center, Low Country Youth Services, Pepper Hill, Metanoia, educators from the Charleston and Berkeley counties, We Are Family, and Choices Women's Center. Thanks to our wonderful contributors, this program is also live streaming for free to all of our education and community partners. Finally, my sincere appreciation to the incredible team here at the Charleston Music Hall for making us feel welcome and safe, and to my terrific, hardworking staff at the Gibbes Museum, especially Becca Heister and Chase Quinn, as well as the wonderful volunteers that greeted you here. Please give them a hand. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our interviewer this evening, Pauline Forlenza. Pauline is the director and CEO of the American Federation of Arts, a New York-based nonprofit, and the leader in traveling visual arts exhibitions internationally. During her 12 years at the helm, Pauline has established worldwide collaborations with museums across Europe, South America, and Asia, transforming the AFA into a museum without walls. Originally from Guyana, Pauline transitioned from a career in finance to pursue her passion for the arts. She cherishes her artistic upbringing and has dedicated her career to making all art accessible. As a result, the Gibbes has been privileged to host 2 groundbreaking exhibitions organized by the AFA in recent years. They are Black Refractions, the Studio Museum in Harlem in 2019, and Romer Bearden, Abstraction in 2021. Please welcome Pauline Forlenza. And now to introduce our featured presenter. I don't think I ever thought I would say this. Academy Award winner, Spike Lee. His icon.
They told me come on.
I have to tell you, he went and got a haircut and a shave today. All right, let me finish. Lee's iconic body of storytelling has made an indelible mark on filmmaking and television. The list of films is astonishing, and we had the privilege of screening 3 of them at the Terrace Theater in recent weeks. Lee is currently in production on his latest joint, entitled High Low. I had to get someone to explain to me what joint meant. I'm so sorry. His 5th film with Denzel Washington to be released by A24 Productions before a global launch on Apple TV+. A 5-time Oscar nominee, Spike Lee was awarded the honorary Oscar in 2015 for his lifetime achievement and contributions to the state of motion picture arts and sciences. He is a graduate of Morehouse College and New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, where he is a tenured professor of film and artistic director. Lee's award-winning production company, 40 Acres and a Mule Filmworks, is based in Brooklyn, New York. However, yes. However, his most recent honor can be found in Springfield, Massachusetts, in the Superfan Gallery at the Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame Museum, where he was just awarded this past Sunday Basketball Hall of Fame status for his excellence as a fan. Please welcome Spike Lee.
Is Brooklyn in the house?
Yeah.
All right. Now we can go.
Yeah. So thank you, Angela, for that warm welcome. And it's so great to be here in Charleston. This is a true honor for me to be sitting alongside Spike this evening. I myself grew up in Brooklyn.
All
so,
right.
Yay.
You know what's up.
We know what's up, exactly. So let's get started, Spike. This is a really good slide to start because this happens to be, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say this, but this is my favorite movie. That's Mookie.
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 The way Rosa Perez said it. Mookie.
Mookie. From Do the Right Thing. And so I thought we would start there and talk about how you got started as a filmmaker.
My late mother was a cinephile, and my father hated movies, so I'm the oldest of 5, so I was my mother's movie date. And my love of sports came from my father, so I got it from both parents.
So then.
I did not grow up wanting to be a filmmaker, and went to Morehouse College, where my father and grandfather went. My mother and grandmother went to Spelman. And first 2 years, I did not choose a major. My mother died my sophomore year. She was 42. And so came back for my junior year and decided I wanted to be a mass communication major. that major's not at Morris, it's Clark College across the street. And there's a teacher named Dr. Herb Eichelberger who really inspired me to become a filmmaker. And so at that point, you know, that thing of a young black man working their way up from the mailroom in the studio was, So I just knew that independent cinema would be the way in.
Yeah.
My grandmother lived to be 100 years old. She taught art in Georgia, and at that time, Georgia was under tyranny of Jim Crow. So for 50 years, she never had one white student. 50 years, white students missed on a great art teacher. And my grandmother saved the Social Security checks for 50 years for grandchildren's education. And since I was the eldest, I had first dibs. So she helped me go through Morehouse and also NYU graduate film school and gave me the seed money for She's Gotta Have It.
Wow.
We shot that film in 12.
That was before, right? She Gotta Have It was before
Do the Right Thing is the third film.
the third film.
In order. She's Gonna Have It, School Days, Do the Right
Do the
Thing.
Right Thing.
Mo Better Blues. Jungle Fever, Malcolm X.
All right.
That's the first 5.
All right.
So even though I didn't grow up wanting to be a filmmaker, I was still, you know, my
Yeah.
mother was taking me to film, so I always liked films, but I never into my. When I was growing up, you know, there was no benevolent people and cats like that, so really it was 70s were the black exploitation era where
Yeah.
we saw black people behind the camera, you know, not just in front.
Yeah. So, filmmaker, director, worldwide, that's how we all know you as. So, when did the collecting start?
Well, I've always been a collector. I collected baseball cards, I collected comic books, so that's something that, you know, just kids did. We didn't like DC, Superman, and Batman. We like Marvel comic books.
Yes.
The Hulk, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, Black Panther, and we just collected and baseball cards. And so I've always been a collector.
That's amazing. I used to collect coins.
Do what?
I used to collect coins and stamps. So,
Yeah, when I was growing up, I used to collect coins, and one day my sister got mad. My sister got mad at me, and she spent all my Buffalo nickels on candy.
what? Wait a minute, that was in Crooklyn.
Yes, Brooklyn is semi-autobiographical
Yeah,
of the Lees growing up in Brooklyn during the early 70s.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Right.
Great film.
And people come up to me all the time, I don't even know strangers, and they always say that Crooklyn is their favorite film.
Yeah.
More than Do the Right Thing, more than Malcolm X, more than any other film, they always cite Crooklyn as their favorite film.
I
which
hadn't seen-
I co-wrote with my siblings.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Crooklyn in a while until just about a week or two ago, and it's a great film. It's
Thank
like,
you.
I mean, I don't know, Do the Right Thing's still my favorite, but love
No,
Crooklyn.
you're not alone. I mean, people say Crooklyn's their favorite film. It's
Yeah.
because of the family. It's because
Yeah,
of the family.
the family, the whole story. Yeah, it's incredible. So let's talk now about, Brooklyn Museum,
Eastern Parkway.
Eastern Parkway on the corner. Also the museum, my home museum, right? Yours as well, I'm sure. So then there was this exhibition, Spike Lee Creative Sources. So how did that come about?
They contacted me and they heard that people have gone to my office and said, look, people come to my office still today and say it looks like a museum. So they came over out to the office and they want to have a collection, so it happened. So on the left right there, that's the poster of Malcolm X from Ghana.
Yeah.
And in Ghana, they paint the movie posters. So that was painted. And then this on the right, that's the suit I wore when I won the Academy Award for, you know, they just give it to you when you don't win. When you should have won, they give you this honorary. And then Dr. King, Morehouse brother, Ali, Floyd Patterson, Ali, Muhammad Ali, and Pele. And the bottom, that's Ali used to draw and paint.
Yeah.
So that's a poem he wrote. And under Dr. King is one of the pictures that the character Smiley gave out of Malcolm and Dr. King.
Yeah. Some more. This was also in the exhibition.
The two Oscars up there, that's the first camera I ever had, a Super 8 camera. On the far left, those are from the film Summer of Sam. To the right of that, that's my Academy Award speech. And I was president of a Cannes Film Festival. That's the poster right there. Mm-hmm. That Rage Bull poster is signed by Jake LaMotta, De Niro, and Martin Scorsese. On the bottom, those are all my scripts. Not all of them, but I don't type.
You wrote them.
Yeah, I handwrite
Yeah, they're
my
so
scripts, and
neatly
then I
written.
give them somebody to type up.
Yeah. Do you still do that?
Yes, and then next to the banner, that's a signed photograph to me by the great Japanese filmmaker Kiri Kurosawa. The new film I'm doing with Denzel is a reinterpretation of his film, High and Low. We're gonna call the title Highest to Lowest. Oh, go back. And next to that is a signed photograph of my God, Martin Scorsese. Underneath that is a photograph signed of Joe Pesci, De Niro, Scorsese. Yeah?
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, De Niro, Scorsese, and myself. And I so titled that 3 Dagos and a Moolie. And then those are the films on the far right. Those are the films that the National Register, Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, 4 Little Girls. I can't see the other one. So they're the National Register of Film.
So a lot of the stuff that you were collecting, like the posters, you had those and you just got them signed later, right?
Yeah, I mean, the people I want them to sign it with.
Yeah. Like Martin.
Yeah, let's go to the next. What we got? Now, these are my movie posters.
Yeah.
And this is for the entrance of the show. Next.
So wait a sec, before we go next, so you had these in your office,
Yeah.
Okay.
My office is big. It used to be a garage. So in Fort Greene, Brooklyn.
That's incredible. So we're going to talk about this a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But you also collect art.
Yes.
And for Charlestonians, you collect William H.
Yeah, Willie Johnson. The
Johnson.
series, you might show him this Blythe singer.
Yeah. And you have a few more of his works.
Yeah, I think they're like 6 pieces.
What made you start collecting him? Because he's represented very well in the Gibbes Museum. Like, what made you start collecting? What did you like about his work?
When I see it, I know it. I mean, just
Yeah.
singing here, music, you know, it just grabs you.
Yeah. So how did your collection move from memorabilia, from posters, etc., to starting to collect art?
When I started making some money. Marvel comic books cost $0.10 back in the day. And a pack of baseball cards was 10 cents. But I'm of the age, I'm the generation where our mothers threw out are baseball cards and comic books.
Yeah.
They're worth a whole lot of money now. A whole lot of money. And the mothers, if there's some junk, they threw it out. That generation. Our mothers threw our shit out. Anybody in the audience, your mother throw your stuff out? Now, we love our moms, but goddamn, you know. You buy a car, Mercedes, those prices now
Yeah.
for rookie cards?
I know.
She.
You know what people would collect? Remember in McDonald's, you had those Happy Meals? Like the toys from the Happy Meals now are worth.
I don't know nothing about McDonald's Happy Meal. Sorry. Nah. Nah, N-A-H, nah.
All right.
Signed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Signed.
Tell us about this work.
I said signed as president, Mr. President.
He's also a Charlestonian.
I mean, I got a new one with the vice president, so I'm gonna put them together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this was an iconic work. And I
it
remember when
speaks
he
for
was
itself.
running. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you got next?
Some posters.
On the top left, I did a film called Miracle St. Anna, which is about the black soldiers that fought in World War II. And Mussolini, and at that time, fascist Italy, to scare up the Italian citizens against the savage black soldier who come from Africa. And they will come and destroy our art and rape our women. So that's I bought that while I was in Italy shooting the documentary. I mean, shooting the film. And this is that's Do the Right Thing. And this is artist named Emery, who was his job. He was, don't remember his exact title, but he had the word culture was in this title. He was the Black Panthers, and he did all the artwork for them.
Yeah.
So. And he did the artwork for Miracle St. Anna, too. I wanted to bring him in.
Yeah. What do you think makes a great poster? Because I know you collect a bunch.
It has to, for me, the imagery has to grab you.
Yeah.
Because, but one thing I don't like is movie trailers where they put all the great stuff in the movie, and then, especially comedies, they get the best joke in the movie, and you go there like that's besides the best joke you saw in the trailer. Everything's not funny. And also, I just feel that you should let the audience discover something. Don't put it all in the trailer, or even the poster.
Yeah. So next, I want to talk about one of my favorite characters.
Radio Raheem.
Radio Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know what happened to Radio Raheem in Do the Right Thing. Talk about Radio Raheem and his relevance today.
Well, I did not make up that love-hate thing. It was a film called Night of the Hunter, and Robert Mitchum was a star in it, jack-leg preacher, and he had love and hate tattooed on his fingers. I saw it in film school. And at that time, I was writing the film. I wrote this film in the year of our Lord, 1988. There was a lot of racial shit going on in New York City. Yusuf Hawkins. There's another brother, I always forget his name, please excuse me, but he was a graffiti artist. And the New York City Transit Authority cops saw him doing some graffiti, and he ended up in died in a chokehold. So that's where that came from. And if you see Do the Right Thing now, I wrote that in 88, came in 89. But if you watch that film, I mean, even today, we were like forecasting what's gonna happen. Yeah. I mean, my friends call me Negro Damas. It's like, damn, Spike, you were thinking about that shit before the shit happened.
Yeah.
Gentrification, global warming, I mean, all that stuff we were dealing in that film. I wrote that script in 1988.
Yeah.
And I
When
mean,
you
look,
think about like George Floyd.
George Floyd. I mean, you see that, you know, it's like history repeating itself.
Yeah. All there in the streets of Brooklyn. All there
And
in
we
the streets
shot,
of
Do the
Brooklyn.
Right Thing was shot in one block in Bedford-Stuyvesant. And several years ago, that block has been renamed Do the Right Thing Way.
Yeah.
There's only street, boulevard, whatever, where it's named after a movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of movies been shot in New York City.
A lot. But I think for Do the Right Thing in Crooklyn, when you look back at those movies, I was talking about this at lunch with you today. It's like, it's nostalgic when you see Brooklyn, how it was back then and how it is today. Because that change has occurred.
Well, Brooklyn's been, like we talked about in the movie, it's gentrified. I mean, we had that character, John Savage, who's wearing a T-shirt, a green T-shirt, with a number 33 on it, and Celtics in the front. So, I mean, it wasn't, my parents bought our brownstone in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, $45,000 back in 1967. They go for millions now.
Yes.
But, you know, here's what happened. In New York, you use New York City, for example, you know, all the big cities, you know, the mid-'60s, you know, drugs, crime, and there was white flight.
Yeah.
And in New York City, they went to Long Island. And, you know, a lot of times the stuff you run away from follows you. Plus, people found out they were spending 4 or 5 hours of their life commuting
Yeah.
back and forth. Long Island, LIE, going back and forth, stuck in traffic. I'm moving, you know, like a parking lot. And then that's when people started to move back, and those brownstones are beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're just
They're gorgeous. But you
Back in-
moved out.
Hmm?
You moved away from Brooklyn.
There's a reason for it.
Tell us.
Everybody, I bought a brownstone down the block where I lived, on Washington Park, facing Fort Greene Park. And everybody in Brooklyn knew where we lived. I mean, there's no gate, it's a stoop.
Yes.
Who knows know what the stoops are?
Yes.
No, you don't. Yeah, you see in some TV show or something. But everybody in Brooklyn knew where I lived. And they're ringing the bell
Oh, shoot.
4 o'clock in the morning. Pookie and everybody else. And a lot of times, you know, especially when I'm working on a film or commercial, and I'm not in town, and my wife Tanya, you know, we just had our daughter, and she said one day, she said, look, you gotta make a choice. Your wife, your one-year-old daughter, Satchel, or Brooklyn?
Oh.
And I pulled the old Jack Benny thing. The older generation don't talk about it. It was the radio. And again, your money, your life. Your money, your life. So what are you gonna do? Said Jack Benny said, I'm thinking. So I did that a little while, but we had to move.
Yeah.
But my office is still in Fort Greene. But everybody was ringing the bell, you know, and I don't even know these people. They're saying like, My second cousin was in 3rd grade with you, stuff like that. So I made the choice.
Yeah. Brooklyn misses you.
I'm there every day. What are you talking about? That's my office. The world headquarters of 4 Acres of Mule is not in Manhattan. It's in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. But that's the script was written. Night of the Hunt was written by James Agee. So, paraphrase Robert Mitchum's speech to fit the late Bill Nunn. He was Bill Nunn and Sam Jackson were ahead of me at Morehouse. Mm-hmm. So they were still doing theater in Atlanta when I was at school. But the thing about, not a funny, but a crazy thing about this film, remember the character Smiley?
Yes.
Who was trying to peddle the pictures. Mm-hmm. They marked the only photograph of Dr. King and Malcolm X, which you see at the end of the film. One of the main conflicts of this film is the character's bugging out, played by the great Jean-Claude Esposito, his character bugging out. And in Sal's famous pizzeria, with the actors, Richard Edson, John Turturro, and Daniello, it's Sal's famous pizzeria and only Italian Americans on the wall.
Yeah.
So that's the conflict. And at the end of the movie, where Sal's is burnt out, but that was spurred by the murder of Ray Rahim, that in this pizzeria had pictures of famous Italian Americans. And so after Do the Right Thing, I was getting ready to do Jungle Fever. And this is 2 neighborhoods. The film takes place, black folks in Harlem, Italian Americans in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. And I was very fortunate and blessed that Stevie Wonder did all the songs. He wrote, in record time, wrote all the songs for the film. Mm-hmm. And so he's going to be for the black folks. I'm going to get Frank Sinatra for the Italian Americans. And Tina Sinatra, Frank was still alive, and still runs this business. And I want to request 3 films, Hello and Lovers, and I always forget the other 2. And I called, she said, Spike, my father's mad at you. I said, Tina, what'd I do? You burnt his picture and Do the Right Thing. And he was hot. So I was calling up Tina every week. And she said, Spike, you drive me crazy. I'm going to give you one more. Why don't you, here's the last thing we could do. Because my father, when he makes his mind, he makes his mind. And I grew up, Frank Sinatra played in the house all the time. I mean, the guy. And also, his relationship with the black musicians, Quincy Jones and Count Basie and all those great musicians. So she said, maybe if you write him a letter, he might change his mind. So I wrote a 10-page handwritten letter to Old Blue Eyes, chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, and he said, okay, we got the songs. Yeah. And I never got to meet him, though. I didn't even get to talk to him, so everything was done to his sister, but he did not like his picture being burned. We burned De Niro's picture. He's never said nothing to me. Al Pacino's picture got burned. He said, and I know these people, these are my guys. He said nothing to me. Old baseball player Phil Rizzuto from the money store, he didn't, New York Yankee. None of them ever said anything about that picture being burned, but Frank Sinatra wasn't having that shit. He said, nah. He said that was, to him, it was straight up despicable. And not respectful. And that's, again, go back. Again, this film was shot on 1 block, the whole movie.
Radio Rahim.
All right.
So, we want to talk about what's next for you in terms of collecting? What other
Talk about what?
Back to collecting, back to art. And what are you thinking about next in terms of where you expect your collection to go? Like, what other things are you thinking about collecting?
You know, when I see, now the middle one, that was commissioned.
Yeah.
Cayenne and 42 being, who's number 42 on the, who? Who? Jackie Robinson, the Pride of Brooklyn. This is a funny story. Norman Lewis, great, great artist. So I don't remember, it was Obama's first campaign or second for the President of the United States. So we had something at our house. And so we raised over $1 million for Barack. And you know, you gotta speak. So he was standing in front of that, American the Beautiful. And his campaign manager, he said, well, he came up to me in time. He said, what is that image that Barack's standing on? That's the Klan. We didn't fess up. That's just some pigeons flying. But luckily, no one ever took a picture. It was standing in front of that. And again, the great, great Deborah Roberts, you know, does
Great.
montages and stuff. So.
Then we got Kahinde.
All right. Young brother, not that young, but died way too early. And this is dealing with the Negro Leagues. And you see, it's cut up an old poster. My daughter's named after Satchel Paige. So that's he did this before he passed away. So
Yeah.
next.
Great work. I think we got one more.
Oh, the one on the right. My first documentary was a documentary called 4 Little Girls, about the 4 girls who were murdered on that September Sunday in Birmingham, Alabama. So I commissioned the great Michael Ray Charles, the dude. This is the poster for the film. But it's a giant jigsaw puzzle. You cut it all up. And what I loved about it is that you have like the halo over the 4 young girls who were murdered. And the dynamite that went off blew out a part of the stained glass window where, before they fixed it, the sun would come in. J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI know who did that. Guy's nickname was Dynamite Bob. They knew that same week. This was September 1963. And I forgot the year this came out. And we had, to qualify for the Academy Award, you have to have a 1-week run. And we had that at the Film Forum in Manhattan. And the week before, can someone look it up real quick, what year this came out? You can take your phones out. What year did 4 Little Girls come out? Just yell it out. Huh?
1997.
Oh, 1997. This, you know, these girls were blown apart by dynamite. September 16th, 1963. J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI knew who did it that week. 1997, the FBI calls me. They called me and said, we want to see a print of the film. A week later, they pressed charges against those murderers who were still running around. But they knew the week of it. The guy's nickname was Dynamite Bob. So J. Edgar Hoover is no friend, and you all know, maybe don't know, but he did not like Dr. King at all. So he was no friend to the civil rights movement. And the hardest thing I've had to do as a filmmaker was interviewing the parents and the siblings of these 4 little black girls who were murdered in cold blood. That was, I mean, and each one of those interviews, I really tried to get these people who are still grieving, talk about if their children had been allowed to live, what they would have become. And the crazy interview is with Governor George Wallace. And he's like, I help black folks. I was getting little kids' books. He stood in the doorway, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to stop Vivian Malone being the first black student there. And later on, I found out that the Malones are second cousins to the Lees. I didn't even know that. My father's side of the family's from Alabama.
Okay. Great work.
On the left, Romare Bearden was very good friends with the great New York filmmaker Sidney Lumet. And Sidney Lumet did a film called Gloria. And so he asked Romare Bearden to do paintings for the opening credit sequence.
Okay.
So that's 2 of the ones I have.
Nice. I think that's it. In terms of the
Oh, that's
slides.
it.
In terms
All
of
right.
the slides. In terms of the slides, but we're not done. So tell us about the next film, the next project.
The next film, we're in post-production now. Another one of the films from the dynamic duo, Dee and Lee.
All
Dee
right.
being Mr. Denzel Washington, one of the greatest living actors today. And this is our 5th film in order. Mo Better Blues,
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, He Got Game, Inside Man. And I didn't notice till someone told me Inside Man was 16, 17 years ago. So we haven't worked together for a minute.
Wow.
But it was like, man, we know how we work together, so that it did not affect what we had to do. So
When's it coming out?
next year, summertime.
All right.
This is this, I'm telling you, fire. He spelled it F-I-Y-A. Fire.
More. Tell us more about it.
I gave you a little hint. It's the reinterpretation of a film by the great Japanese filmmaker Akira Kurosawa and his film High and Low.
Okay.
In Kurosawa's film, the thing me and Denzel, Akira Kurosawa had is with Toshiro Mifune. I mean, they were like this. Same way De Niro and Martin Scorsese, Sidney Lumet, and Al Pacino. So in Kurosawa's film, the lead character is the shoemaker. And in our film, Denzel plays a record executive. And they're, both of these films, their son gets kidnapped.
Okay.
Action-packed.
Oh, can't wait. It's exciting. So I think that's all the time we have for this segment, but I'd love to turn it to the audience for questions.
Can we turn the lights on?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, there
All
you go.
right.
There you go.
You look beautiful.
Hey. Hi. I think.
There's a mic.
There you go. Yeah, we have a mic.
Speak up, please.
Hello, hello.
I think we
Thank
got a
you.
mic in the back.
I'm over here. How you doing, Spike Lee? Mr. Spike Lee.
no,
I'm on the balcony. Look up.
Oh, the cheap seats. Where you at?
Here I am.
Oh, we're right in front.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
I see you, brother.
So thank you for being here. My
Glad
name
to be here.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Parks. I'm a filmmaker, photographer, and also a resident at the Gibbes in the arts residency program. It's upcoming October. And I just want to ask you, what advice do you have for up-and-coming, black and brown filmmakers who really want to chart their path as independent filmmakers, making films outside of the industry?
All right. I'm going to give you the Spanish word, all right? You got to bust your culo. Bust your ass. Simple. That's what I tell my students, too. I mean, it's hard. I mean, this is like no joke, but you gotta be committed and put the work in. Next.
Clay.
Yes. Why don't you stand up, please?
Okay.
Hold on. All right, what else I gotta do here?
When you were growing up and you knew you were going to become a producer and a collector. Say that again? You knew that you were going to become a producer and you knew you were going to do something great with your life. I know that. But no, what I want to know is this. I want to know if there was some writer that inspired you, some voice that you...
I'm gonna answer your question a different way. Growing up, I did not want to be I didn't want to be a filmmaker. But the most important book I've ever read is the autobiography of Malcolm X was told to Alex Haley. That's had the most effect, and I read that book every year.
Hi.
We asked on the back, yes.
Hi. I just wanted to thank you for giving a number of black actors and actresses their start. I wrote you a card earlier today, but I forgot to bring it at lunch. But it listed.
You got it? You brought it?
I have it. I'll give it to. I don't have it with me, but when are you leaving? Okay, on Dark 30. You got my email. I'll send you a picture of it. But what I was going to say was, I started with Delroy, Denzel, Bill Noon, Rosie Perez, you name it. It was about...
Martin Lawrence.
That's right, all of them. Tisha Campbell, what is her name? Jasmine Guy. The list just went on and on, but you were like the precursor to allowing these artists and actors to get their start. And I give my kudos to you for giving them a chance, because they've done well ever since.
Yo, I'm up
Got
top.
one right here.
Oh wait, where we going?
What's up?
I got you.
All right.
Like your creative expression oftentimes addresses social issues that date back to the past, but also, address issues of like current times. Like, what words would you speak to the role of artists and creators as it pertains to addressing social issues, especially in today's climate?
Artists have to choose their own path. I mean, you have comedians who political comedians, people just want to tell a joke, so you got to do what your heart and soul tells you to do. I'm not going to get mad at any artist that doesn't want to deal with social issues. That's not their thing, It's cool. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm over here.
Hello.
All right.
How are you? My name is
Can we
Shauna.
turn the lights up all the way?
Yes.
It's not going to cost any more than the electric bill.
My name is Shauna Hasty, and I'm very thankful for you being here. So it's a twofold comment that I have. I am currently in Pearly Victorious at Charleston Stage, and who was written by the great Ossie Davis. So clap for that. That is an amazing thing. So twofolds to that is, one, how do we get it that you come to see this particular production of Pearly Victorious? It ends on October 27th, so I put it out there. You have an invitation. But also the fact that you have used...
Hold up.
Okay. Yes.
You ever heard of the New York Yankees? You ever heard of the New York Liberty? I got a schedule. What?
And I appreciate that for you, but I want one Schedules can be changed, hallelujah. But I want to just say...
The game, you can't change this.
You can't.
The games. I don't got that much pull. I'm going to call up Ron Manfred and say, Yankees can't play the Mets for the Subway Series on this particular date? I'm not doing it.
So my last serious question to that is the fact that you've utilized these great actors like Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee Davis in your movies so that the younger generations can know who they are. How do you connect those artists with the artwork that you have today?
I have great casting directors. Casting directors that... The role of the casting director is not to tell you who to cast a star. For me, my casting directors have introduced me to people I didn't know. That's how I use. I mean, I know who Martin Lawrence was. I know who Robin Harris was. I saw Tisha in Little Shop of Horrors, but
Was that Martin's first movie?
What's that again?
Was that Martin's first movie, Do the Right Thing? That's me. That's Pauline.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Was that Martin's first movie, Do the Right Thing?
Yes.
No,
Martin Lawrence's first film.
Yeah.
Hi
Rosie
there.
Perez's first film.
It was funny.
I'm in the balcony.
Okay.
So Dr. Janelle Perkins,
How you doing?
I do a lot of work with mental health and relationships, and I'm really curious about the trauma we see on screen. How do you work with your actors to be able to work through that level of trauma after doing movies like this, during the process?
They're professionals. I know it sounds like a blind answer, but that's their job. Not every film's going to be Walt Disney. I mean, it's difficult to shoot. This film, when you see Ray Rahim get strangled, NYPD chokehold, that was a very difficult scene, but when I call cut, we were all hugging each other. But the actor's job is to play their character. That's their job. And not every character you play is going to be Mr. Rogers. That's their job.
Spike.
Yes.
My name is Marlon Kimson, Morehouse College.
Yeah.
Class of 91.
Yeah.
I was on the yard as school days rolled out. I'm a member of Omega Psi-Phi fraternity.
You're a nasty Q dog?
Omega Man, Graves Hall. My question.
Whoa, well, I mean, before you ask the
All right,
question,
all right.
do you know who Zelma Bothic is?
Yeah, Z-Bothic.
Zelma Bothic was a classmate of mine,
yeah.
the illustrious class of 1979.
Right.
And he pledged Omega Psi Phi. The Morehouse chapter is called the Bloody Side chapter.
Right.
When they got online, there were 18 people pledging. 17 people dropped. His line name is Z-Dog, the one and only, from Detroit, Michigan.
Right, right.
We had a mass communications class together, and he couldn't sit. He had to stand in the back of the class because they're wearing his ass out with that wood.
Don't tell it all, Spike. Don't tell it all.
Ah, he tells it.
I'm
Z-Dog, the one and only.
I'm
What?
spring 89. Spring 89.
And let me look.
Yeah.
I got a mic too.
All right.
So when I did school days,
School day.
Z-Dog, the one and only, was my technical supervisor. And so all the frats were getting mad when the movie came out.
And he got some heat for that.
They were blaming Z-Dog only for giving away all the secrets.
My question really is.
What's your question?
So.
When you said you were Omega Psi Phi, you know it was coming.
Exactly. I'll be at homecoming in a couple of
Okay.
weeks.
When is homecoming?
The 26th. Yeah.
I haven't been in a minute.
Yeah. 25th, I think. You've been at this craft for a while. What do you think the impact of AI will have on traditional?
Very good question, my Omega brother.
Filmmaking.
I'm scared of it. Before I got here, I was in my hotel room on Instagram, and they have these things where they have a lower third saying it's AI, but the things that have people saying is like opposite of who these people are. And so you don't know what's what, and it's scary. It's scary, and I just think that sometimes technology can go too far. And also, there's a big thing now, especially with the Writers Guild, where they're trying to get the studios and the networks to agree not to have these computers writing scripts. And it's out the box for music already. You think you listen to Michael Jackson, it's not even him. Or Prince, it's artificial intelligence. And Spielberg was on that early. He did a film called AI. So I'm scared, what they can do with that. And then pass it off as if it's the real thing, too. Yes.
Hello. Up here in the balcony. I couldn't keep standing, so I had to sit down. But I'm Aiden Gadsden. Most of y'all who were at the Charleston Gilliard Center might recognize me as young Robert Smalls at Finding Freedom, The Journey of Robert Smalls. Man, being a teen sucks. I can't deal with this. From a character to a character. Crooklyn. Are you in it or are you not in it? That is the question.
I'll give you the answer, my brother. I think I touched upon it earlier, but Crooklyn is about my family growing up in Brooklyn, New York. And my character is the oldest, the one that was a Knicks fan, the one that got mad that my little sister stole my buffalo nickels and bought candy with it. And that on Friday nights, when the Knicks were playing, my siblings wanted to see the Partridge Family instead. So that is semi-autobiographical. And also, my mother died when I was a sophomore at Morehouse. So.
Hello, Mr. Spike Lee. My name is Stella Williams. I'm over here. I am a theater arts educator here in Charleston, South Carolina. Thank you. Yeah. And I'm also an assistant director for Geechee One Films, directed by Felicia Rivers. Catch us all of our movies on Tubi. So my question for you, Mr. Lee, first of all, thank you for everything, paving the way, just being the GOAT at film. But my question for you is pretty simplistic. Have you ever had to fire an actor, or could you share like your worst set experience as a director?
Where are you, anyway?
I'm right here.
She's on the right.
Oh, all right. Very good question. You know, if I have to have difficulties with actors, is my fault because I picked the wrong person for the part. And I had to learn to be smarter because actors will do when they're auditioning, actors will do anything to get the part. So the demons they have, or whatever it is, you're not gonna see it when they audition for the part. But once they got the part, then they can act up. And also, being an actor is a tough gig. I'm not talking about stars. I'm talking about people who are auditioning but still have to drive a cab, wait tables, because they're not making money from acting. And so I understand what that is. And the hardest thing for me to do is to tell an actor, thank you for coming in. We'll see you later. And they know what that means. They didn't get the part. And it's no fun. Because you see it, they try to hide it. But they're not good. They're not that good an actor when you see it in their face and they know that they didn't get it. That is the bad part of directing when you also, you got 2, 3, 4 people or like, you can't have to do 4 people saying the same part in the movie. You got to pick one. So with those cases, I really make a mental note that if I'm doing another film, that's happened a lot where someone didn't get it the first time, but further film down the line. So it's tough. It's tough business. Who's seen the film Jungle Fever? Halle Berry had to come back 5 times. Cinco. 5 times. The character's name is Vivian hyphen the $3 crack hoe. And the first 4 times Halle came in, she's not looking like a $3 crack hoe. Back then, I mean, she's beautiful now. But back in the day, God. And this is her first film. This is her first film. And so Robbie Reed, my early great casting director, pulled her aside and said, look, Spike can't see you as a $3 crack hoe. So she came back for the 5th time, like a week later, and in a week she had not taking a shower or a bath and just came all crackish. She got the part. And, I mean, I'm not telling you anything that's been talked about. And Sam Jackson had just got out of rehab. I didn't even know. Everybody knew. I didn't know it. That's my Morehouse brother. And he was taking Hallie to all his former spots to get her, to get into that thing. So that was Halle Berry, first film.
Oh.
Spike, we have one more question.
Can I get one? Can I get one? Bing bong right here.
Go ahead.
How's it going? My name is Andre Harrison. How's it going, Mr. Lee?
It's going good.
There you go. Born in '82. I was raised off your movies. Movie nights whenever one came out, we went to the movie theaters.
Oh, so you thought in the theaters, right?
Yo.
No VHS?
Bro, you don't even understand how your movies connect to my timeline.
Where'd you grow up?
I was born in New York originally, Queens, Springfield Gardens.
Uh-huh.
I got godparents in Putnam and Troop in Brooklyn, so you know.
Yeah.
My mom's from Spanish Harlem.
Uh-oh.
Woo woo. But her family's from down here, so, and dad's from Jamaica. But anyways, we're going too far.
Wait, Kingston?
Come on, the Blue Mountains though, the Blue Mountains. We country.
You said
They didn't lock us up after the slave ships. You know what I'm saying? We made it to the mountains.
Whoa.
We made it to the mountains.
Hold on. Enslaved ships.
Oh, sorry. But hold on, let me hold on before we get crazy.
Whoa. I'm not getting crazy, but my wife, she pulled me aside. I kept saying the word slave. She said, enslaved, big difference.
Touche. All right.
Nah, ain't no touche. I'm just letting you know.
Part of my broken English. I speak American. Anyways, do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
The last scene, everybody talks about the fire, everything like that. Nah, the last scene.
For me and Danny?
When Mookie comes back after breaking the window, all of that stuff, and got the nerve to ask, yo, hold on, actually, let me pause, let me come back. I used to forget about Sal. I got older, I was like, I kind of get Sal, but I always identified as Mookie. But when he comes back to the spot,
Sal's famous pizzeria.
Talk about it, to ask for his money. And Sal doesn't argue him and gives him his money. I've thought about this for the 40...
There's a big argument, Marwan.
I just want to know what your thought process was when you made that scene, because I think that's the best scene in the whole movie, personally.
Thank you.
I still don't know how it ends. I still don't even understand exactly. It changes throughout the years how I feel about that scene.
Yeah,
I think that's the real scene. Can you speak about that one?
Simple. I mean, Mookie throughout the whole film was talking about, I gotta get paid, I gotta get my money, so it came down to a standoff where he went back to get he worked that week and he wanted his money. But, and this is a thing that people talked about the movie came out in 1989 and it's still relevant. There was a train of thought that Mookie, him throwing the garbage can through Sal's famous pizzeria window was what started the riot. But no, it was the chokehold of Raider Rahim that prompted Mookie to pick up the garbage can. But if you remember the film, when there's a standoff, Mookie's standing with Sal, Pino, and Vito, and he's going like this, and he walks away to go with his people, and then he picks up the garbage can. And I don't think it was written, but when I threw the garbage can through the window, I screamed, hate. So we'll be gonna, I mean, you could be a year talking about the many different opinions people had of that film. But the worst was this guy named Joe Klein, this other guy, they wrote for New York Magazine. And they said that this film will be the reason why David Dinkle's not become the first black mayor. That to their readership, hope to God this film does open in a theater near you. That this film wasn't have black folks come out of the theater rioting. So it was just a really messed up, totally racist review. And those guys, they've never apologized because they were just, wrong with the capital W. But this Do the Right Thing came out 35 years ago, and it's still topical. And there was a throwaway line of Donald Trump in the movie. So it's one step forward in 35 years, 2 years back, and this coming election is going to determine whether to go forward or back.
So I know that we have a lot of burning questions that we're unfortunately not going to have time to get to. We do have time for one more, and then we will break so that Mr. Spike Lee can do a book signing. So please.
Thank you. Hello. Oh, hi. Mr. Lee.
I really enjoy.
We got two. You're first.
I really enjoy watching your commercials during March Madness.
The Capital One commercials with
Samuel
Shaq and
yes,
Barkley.
And Charles.
Yes.
I hope you keep doing them.
Me too.
Okay, but I wanted to ask you a question. You know when you're spinning the basketball on the end of your finger? And you turn it sideways and it's still spinning?
Can you speak up louder, please?
You know when you spin the basketball on your finger in one of the scenes and you turn your hand sideways and it's still spinning?
A special effect.
I thought
I don't have basketball skills like that. I'm sorry.
It's the best scene, and I wondered, how you did it. And
special effect. That defies gravity. I can't do that. Yes, it'll be the last question.
Yeah. Last question. So, Mr. Lee, back here.
Where are you?
Hi. I'm back here.
Right.
Hey, I'm Denzel Coleman. I'm from Harlem, New York City. If anybody,
Harlem, USA.
Yeah. And I think Kenyatta Lee, who's your cousin, he was my basketball coach back in the day. But I have a quick question for you. What do you think of the Karl Anthony Towns trade?
There's a lot of, everybody's not explaining it to people, so then I'll answer it. Hello? He left?
So Karl Anthony Towns is a center in NBA basketball. He
What team?
He plays for the New York Knicks.
No. Who came from what team?
The New York Knicks traded Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Karl Anthony Towns. What do you think of that trade, Mr. Lee, as I wear my Ewings?
I love it. On my neck is a ring that the Knicks won. This for the last championship. We've only had two. And this is from the 72-73 season. So we haven't won in over 50 years. That's a goddamn too long time. But we're winning this year. Thank you. And for any Boston Celtics fans, you know what you can do.